Hey everybody, this is Ryan Mallory. Holy cow, what a crazy week, huh? I mean, actually it's been a crazy couple of weeks. And it's not so much that there's been like this massive amount of volatility in the market, but if you look at the price range from like the last 2 weeks, it's just been a lot of garbage, particularly the last 6 days of trading. I mean, and you're seeing a lot of like afternoon fades. That kind of stinks too. I don't like that. But yeah, going back to the 12th of September, I mean, you got an afternoon fade here. You have it on here. I mean, the last 2 days you've seen fades. So it's really tough. I mean, and then today you have the China news that comes out that their delegation's coming back sooner rather than later or whatever it is. And it tanks the market like 20 something points within a 5-10 minute period. It's hard. I mean, because the market was actually provided me with some decent gains, and then I got stopped out of one position and took profits in another and rode my short position, which turned out to be a pretty good trade today. I got into SPXU yesterday. I'm holding it over the weekend. We'll see how it does, but I got about almost 2% in profits on that one. ZTS is the other one. It's riding its uptrend pretty nice. I'll pull that up for you here, but it's a solid bounce the last 4 days, so I have nothing to complain there. I've got about 3, maybe 4% in that trade. Really solid so far. I'm hoping I can get it back up to 130 before I look at booking gains on it. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of these trades. And a lot of nasty sell-offs today and in recent days actually. But the first one has got to be Roku. I mean, we can't do this video without talking about Roku. And I'm going to be fast about it here because I want to cover a lot of stocks. So Roku, this is the support level I'm watching, around $101. It's getting close to it. It got as low as $103.60. But it's not quite there yet. I also want to see too, are we going to continue to push lower below key support levels? Because it did that off of the key one, off of the December lows. It broke right through it today with no problem. There's also some news, some headline risk there. So we want to see if it can settle at this 101 level before we get long on it. Shop is another one that's mystifying people. Look at this thing. It's down, what, 6 straight days. And it's been down 9 out of the last 11. So it's really a bad time to be in Roku. I mean, gosh, I mean, for all of September, it's been selling off. I got into it earlier. I think it was like last week. I got out, made a couple percent on it, but the other 2 trades before that weren't too good. But some key support here at the 310, 311 area. If that holds, maybe we get a bounce off of it on Monday. But it gets pretty scary if it starts to push below 310 and even below 300 because there's not a lot of support underneath it here. You can see that there could be a pullback. It would be a dramatic pullback, but a pullback down into the 200s, the low 200s, and I don't think anybody really wants to see that, at least if you're long. But for the dip buyers, it could be a really good play if it gets that far. But I'd say in the short term, I would expect some kind of a bounce here to unfold, even if it's just short-lived. A lot of people kind of pissed about Spotify here. I mean, this one, it's not been as bullish as Shopify had been over the past year, but you have this double top form in here, and it's close to confirming. In fact, if it breaks below 120, it basically confirms a double top pattern. So watch out for this one. I wouldn't play it. If you can get a bounce off of 120, that may give you like a 2 to 3 day trade to the upside to book some quick profits. And who would have thought this? Netflix. I mean, granted, they got a lot of competition coming up later this year. You have Disney, and I think that's going to cut into it. But I thought maybe we would probably see a little bit of a bounce here. I mean, it's been just getting taken to the woodshed of late, and nothing's really changing it. I mean, now you got this nasty downtrend in place, and it's really not doing anything to change it. So now you have a pretty well-defined channel. You could see a bounce on Monday. Wouldn't be surprised by it. I actually did a video last week as whether Netflix is buying. I thought this night base was pretty nice. It was forming pretty nice and might be worth a trade. However, I wouldn't have held it if it breaks below the support level here at 284. So if you did get into it, you probably shouldn't have taken too big of a loss. I mean, you got to use stop losses because as traders, we're not going to always be right. You got to be able to take a loss when the trade is not working out right. It's not working in Netflix right now. I'd be very careful about this stock going forward. Maybe a bounce in the near term, but this kind of volume, it's pretty ugly. Maybe with this huge Yao Ming volume bar, maybe it sparks a bottom in the stock. But if you look at the last time we had one of these big ones, it almost started another 2 or 3 days worth of selling. So it's hard to really say that at this point. Facebook, thing's been in a channel for God knows how long, 2 months about, and it can't break out of it. It's getting close. It actually looked like it was breaking out today, and then you had the China news come out, and then it just gave it all up. I'm kind of starting to get more bullish on this particular chart here. You got an inverse head and shoulders pattern with the left shoulder here, right shoulder, and then left shoulder, head, and then let me get this chart right. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay, we got that together. I got it finally, but could see another pushback go above 200, maybe to 203, 204 before maybe considering booking gains in that trade. And look at Apple. This wasn't a good day for it at all. I mean, this thing pulled back pretty significantly, 1.5%, and had been rallying pretty good up until the last 2 days, and then it just stalled out. The support here to watch is about the 214 level. If it can hold 214 and bounce, that's what you want. Right now it's at almost 218. It's not in danger of anything just yet, but I would definitely keep an eye on it. Maybe start trimming the position or get out of it altogether if it breaks below 214. You also have a rising trend line off of the January lows to keep in mind. It's not anywhere near testing it yet, but keep in mind if it starts to break below 200, you don't want to stay in this one anymore. Also a trend line off of the June lows, and that one's held pretty well so far, and that's a little bit more aggressive, but if it breaks below 211, then you might want to get out of it there too, depending on how aggressive you want to be with your stop losses. And Xilinx, you had Xilinx weighing on all the semis today. I mean, look at this topping pattern in this thing. It's putrid. I mean, it really is. It's ugly, and it's now into the gap. It's probably going to go down to 91 before it sees any kind of sustainable bounce. I mean, these gaps do get filled eventually, one way or the other. This is kind of like a double top pattern. It's not perfect. The right top isn't as high as the left top, okay? It doesn't have to be, but you can get the gist of it, that this is really like a double top pattern, especially when you look at it the long-term perspective. Yeah, nobody's gonna argue with me on that one. But it's confirmed the double top pattern at 98. It broke through. This is a short setup here. This isn't something that you want to get long on. I'd probably short it with a stop loss maybe above, if you're really loose with your stops, put it above 106. I wouldn't get that short on it, or that wide on the stop loss, but probably something above like 125 or so, and see if it works. I don't know, maybe it will, but nonetheless, I think it's going to fill that gap and maybe even push a little bit lower. And look at Amazon. This is kind of a similar chart to Facebook here. You got this base going back to early August. It still hasn't broken out of it yet, and this is why I haven't played a lot of the FANG stocks of late. It just isn't going anywhere. None of them are. Facebook, Amazon, Apple's probably the best, but that's not even original FANG stock, right? But it kind of is lumped into it anyways of late. Netflix definitely isn't going anywhere. The only one you can make an argument for is Google. Google's been doing pretty good. A little consolidation like the market's shown, but a pretty healthy trend line here going forward. It's got resistance at 1300 that you're going to want to be mindful of, so be careful there. That's going to do it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, Ryan@SharePlanner.com. I'd love to hear from you, take your questions. Man, check out the SharePlanner Swing Trading Splash Zone. It's a great place for traders, okay? It's got all my trade alerts. It's got all of my real-time updates on each one of my trades, from the stop loss, the entry, the target prices, the technical analysis, the charts, the reason for why I get into the trade. But you also have a great community of traders that got each other's backs, man. We help each other out. We put ideas out there. We're constantly trying to better ourselves in the stock market. It's a great place, whether you're a beginner or expert. There's a lot to learn, and there's a lot to benefit from. Thank you. See you there. God bless. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, as well as check out some of these other cool videos that I've done. And if you want to swing trade with me each and every day, you can do so by going to www.shareplanner.com/splashzone. Thanks and happy trading.